Hello, dear friends. No human being is born learned in this world. For this reason, humans are equipped by nature with the greatest of treasures, their ability to learn. Opinion piece, post truth era, generational gap, primacy of emotion, financial repression, manipulation of reality. Let's start. Our consciousness is always limited by the framework of the perception, the division between us and the strangers, and the fear of the new and unusual. It is an evolutionary survival mechanism that allowed humankind to be the dominant species on the planet. But, but in the post truth era, this paranoid mechanism began to work against us. Post truth Post-truth is a concept that refers to the manipulation of information to influence public opinion, appealing to emotions, personal beliefs, and biases, rather than objective facts and logical reasoning. The post-truth era refers to a period in which public opinion is formed more by appeals to emotions and personal beliefs than by objective facts. It is characterized by the primacy of emotions and beliefs over facts when forming opinions, which allows the manipulation of reality for political or ideological purposes. In the post truth era, objective truth is eclipsed by the dissemination of misleading information that seeks to shape the perception of reality according to particular interests. This phenomenon can have a significant impact on society, politics, and decision making, as it undermines trust in accurate information and makes it difficult to form informed opinions. The main difference between truth and post truth is that truth is based on objective facts and evidence, while post truth prioritizes emotions, personal beliefs, and narratives that favor certain interests, regardless of whether or not they conform to reality. In short, post truth is more dangerous than lying because it does not respect truth or falsehood, but rather creates a new reality based on emotions and beliefs, regardless of the facts. This makes it easier to manipulate public opinion. The post truth era, wild thoughts can be instilled in the public with consciousness manipulation technologies through simple publicity tricks transmitted to the population that produce surprising results. So much so that sometimes political statements are defined as infallible truths for their followers. Economy. The founder of the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, resigns. Tony Blair, Christine Lagarde, or Peter Maurer, son of Klaus, could replace him. 24 countries are getting rid of the dollar. Credit card companies increase interest rates. 13 rich countries, including Canada, Germany, France, and the UK and Australia, are experiencing a recession. Farmers warned of empty shelves and dying bees. Emirates issue gold in currency notes. Are the Emirates positioning themselves to dethrone Switzerland? Switzerland is the biggest player in the global gold market, but Dubai has taken important steps to attract gold refineries and transactions. The Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe has applied for an ISO code for its independent gold-backed SIG currency. BRICS leaders refused to attend peace conference in Switzerland. Opinions. X22 report. While the economy implodes on itself, the problem is that the statistical numbers do not match what people are feeling. Everything is about to change. Citigroup has warned of an imminent economic crisis. Stephen Van Meter warns that international markets are on the brink of a disruption over the next week due to heightened anxiety among traders. The gap between rich and poor is wider than ever, and the frustration is growing according to Michael Snyder. More than 1,000 earthquakes have occurred in California and Nevada in the last week, according to Michael Snyder. Is the big one coming? According to Michael Snyder, the chess pieces are moving into place. This geopolitical instability is a sign that there is much more going on behind the scenes that we are being told. The great powers seem to be making moves in anticipation of what they believe is coming next. According to Mike Adams, after the collapse of our financial system, people will say that it was obvious that bankruptcy was imminent because the signs were everywhere. But right now, most people still deny it. I say, believe your eyes. The signs are indicators that we are approaching the final chapter of this model of civilization. The cause of the generation gap is not pensions, it is housing and low salaries. The great economic difference between the oldest and the youngest is in capital income, income from renting homes or from other real or financial. Young people no longer have the economic capacity to get into debt. Financial repression involves keeping interest rates below the inflation rate for an extended period to allow debt to be pumped. Savers are the big losers. Governments manage to liquefy their public debt thanks to persistent inflation. In times of financial repression, equities and the stock market usually cover the investor. The final elements for the application of Basel III in the EU have already been agreed and will begin to be applied on January 1st, 2025, according to Goldilocks. There are tokenized assets and stable coins backed by gold and other raw materials, and it is expected then to become law by the end of June 2024. Europe. The head of NATO calls for a break with Russia. The European Commission confirmed that it was not Russia that cut off gas supplies to the EU. The British government prepares citizens for a national crisis. Brits should have 3 days' worth of canned food and water, government says. The UK intends to persuade Finland to blockade Russia in the Baltic Sea, according to several sources. The Chinese Foreign Ministry accuses the UK of adding fuel to the Ukrainian conflict. China begins a military exercise around Taiwan. The US urges to strengthen the G7 in the face of China's productive capacity. The Foreign Legion is made up of immigrants in France. Macron faces a perfect storm ahead of the European elections. The bishops ignore the largest Catholic youth event, the pilgrimage to Chartres. Norway, Ireland, and Spain recognize Palestine as a sovereign state. Israel is considering new measures against these 3 European countries. Afghanistan, the most dangerous country in the world to travel to. The Islamic State is the worst rated in terms of security according to the World Peace Index. German salaries overthrow the ECB's rate cut plan. Germany decriminalizes the possession of child pornography. Minimum penalties will be reduced, and the crime will be reduced to a misdemeanor. Trial for attempted coup in Germany. Self-proclaimed Prince Heinrich XIII and other high-profile suspects, including former military personnel, were tried Tuesday for plotting to overthrow the German government. The case, which shocked Germany in late 2022, involves more than 2 dozen suspects and 260 witnesses and is expected to continue until 2025. The group, part of the Reichsbürger movement, which planned to install Heinrich XIII as the new leader and restore the pre-World War First German Empire. Prosecutors say they intended to storm the Reichstag, arrest lawmakers, and show a changed Chancellor Olaf Scholz on television to gain public support. Americas. The US, Mexico, and Canada should be united under a transnational government like the EU, declared President AMLO. Mexico promised not to let more than 4,000 irregular migrants cross the border with the US per day. Tijuana, the main passage for irregular migratory flows from Mexico to the US. Provincial workers from northeastern Argentina occupy the Ministry of Health. The president of Ecuador decrees a new state of exception for 7 provinces. Colombia will install an embassy in Ramallah, the capital of Palestine. The National Board of Justice of Peru dismisses Patricia Benavides as Attorney General. Venezuelan court sentences those linked to the attempted coup in 2020 to 30 years in prison. Cuba seeks potential technological and commercial partners in the Eurasian Economic Union. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.